Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skull Mystic. I am here today in front of Baba Yaga's house in Polaris to talk to you all about this new arc and what may be coming. I mean, I've had some thoughts on the matter, and I've looked very carefully at the clues, and I kind of wonder about some things. I thought I might talk about them, voice my opinion, and maybe we could all get our heads together and see if we can't figure out what's coming, or at least partially what's coming before it gets here, and save ourselves a lot of trouble. Now, in Polaris, let's talk about first things first. Suspects. I suspect some characters here of some things, and maybe it's true and maybe it isn't, but there's some mighty shifty behavior going on here. Let's start with Mallory. All we know about Mallory is that she's Baba Yaga's daughter. That's it. End of sentence. Nothing new. Nothing else shared. Anything like that. I kind of wonder about that girl, simply for the fact that there hasn't been much information shared. We first met her out here by the snowmen. Very calmly, she's making snowmen, and we ask her about Baba Yaga, and she knows what Baba Yaga is going to do. And sure, she tells us she doesn't like visitors and all that, but she doesn't let on that she's related to Baba Yaga at all, or that she even has anything to do with Baba Yaga, other than, of course, that she is in the front of her yard making snowmen. Now, to me, that's mighty shifty behavior. That's what someone does whenever they don't want you to know all the facts about things. This game is pretty good about, sooner or later, putting links to all things together. And we know that Baba Yaga is Mallory's mother, but who is Mallory's father? And the reason I bring this up is Airedale Guthrie, way over in the cave, is talking about the 3 children of the spider, which of course we know is Old Cobb. Now, he doesn't mention who those children's mother is either. So that's leaving a big hole in what's going on. They've gone to great lengths. Tarak over in the Arcanum mentions in his lore, as we're investigating along, that Raven and Spider Spawn are where the Titans came from. That means, logically, Grandmother Raven and Old Cobb had some kind of a May-December romance way back when, and they popped themselves out some kids. And those kids were very, very badly behaved. Now, what I've gotten from this and Grandmother Raven and her kindliness up until Polaris was that she saw what was happening with Old Cobb, decided the relationship was no good, and buried you in a hole. Now you talk about revenge. I don't know. That's about a jilted wife there. Whenever you bury dude in a hole, you're in trouble. You've done something really, really wrong. You're way past the doghouse. Regardless of that, she had a hand in putting the Titans to sleep and putting Old Cobb in a hole from which he's rested for thousands of years or hundreds of years or however many years, long enough for the Zafarians to have cave paintings about the whole thing. In any case, so there's a lot of shiftiness in that. Where this Bat, Rat, and Scorpion, what other than Old Cobb, who is their mother? See, there's a lot of holes in parentage here, which I get the idea they're going to fill in a bunch of surprising gaps before long. Now, another reason I'm kind of circling back to Mallory again. Sorry, I ramble a little bit. Another reason I'm circling back to Mallory is usually in murder mysteries, it's the one that they put the least suspicion on. They mention the least, they talk about, they bring the character up, and then they kind of let it slide along the sidelines. Mallory has gone in all kinds of places that we've gone, but she hasn't had any real acting role or any real, she hasn't had really a whole lot of dialogue. A little bit, but just enough to allay your suspicions. I suspect Mallory has got something going on here, and maybe it's Mallory, maybe not, but Airedale Guthrie in the cave painting thing mentions the vampire as a shapeshifter, a master of illusion and subterfuge. So I'm kind of wondering if the Bat child of Old Cobb isn't here already, and is one of these characters we've already met in disguise, kind of casing the joint, as it were, keeping track of what's going on. Again, Malloy is pretty high on my list of suspects for that, simply because they introduce her as a character, and they've given her some family tree, but they haven't come up with all of it, and she's been really, really quiet, and they don't generally come up with characters who do really nothing. I mean, Airedale Guthrie, that's really a side character. You heard from him one time, and he's done, sure. But Malloy, we've seen several times in Polaris. Several times she's had a speaking role, but she's never really gotten into the thick of it. And I kind of wonder about that girl. I'm telling you, she's got that shifty little eyeball thing going on. Plus, she has that perpetually snotty nose. That's not a reason to suspect her of anything, but man, those habits, though. Have you ever heard of a handkerchief? Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of wondering about Malloy. Let's talk about Baba Yaga herself. A very, very powerful character that we've gone all the way up to the graduation from Ravenwood, and we're just now hearing about her. Just now. I mean, she's not, so far as I know, referenced anywhere else. So far as I know. They've referenced other lands and other things, but Baba Yaga is a powerful figure and hasn't been referenced anywhere. What's up with her history? What's going on with her? All right, let me cycle back around here to Grandmother Raven. What's up with Chick? What is her deal? She was like the nice, kind, warm, sweet, loving, grandmotherly type Grandmother Raven. In Winter Tusk, she was all about the help. All about the making sure that you achieve your goals. And now, just now in Polaris, now she's getting just a little bit touchy. And in fact, kind of scares me a little bit. She makes me want to sleep with one eye open. Talking about how if we damage the spiral, her wrath will be on us. Well, okay, I can understand that reasonably, but again, there's some backstory there that we aren't being told yet for her to act like that. Just all of a sudden. So I think that this is what I think overall the picture that we're going to have here. One of these characters that we already know is going to be the Bat in disguise. It's going to have been watching us the whole time, and maybe or maybe not will have a hand in the end. I'm not quite sure about that yet. I'm wondering if we aren't going to have the Scorpion who steals the sun and puts us in darkness, and then we're going to have the Bat at the end, and then one of our big main characters, say Grandmother Raven or maybe Ambrose or one of those lot, isn't going to, at the very end of this arc, make the supreme sacrifice and rejoin all the pieces of the spiral back into one solid land. Now, I know that seems out of left field, but Bartleby originally was the one who knitted the spiral from all the shards. Well, he had a hand in it anyway. He sung the song of creation that did it. I'm wondering if somebody somewhere along the line here isn't going to sacrifice their life or life essence or whatever it is these guys have to pull the spiral back together just whenever we get to the very darkest moment. This whole arc so far is very Star Wars-esque in that you've got the bad guys, they got the upper hand, and they're just tearing the crap out of the place and do just about whatever they want to do. And the good guys are at best having stopgap measures and kind of slowing them down a little. I predict that the Scorpion is indeed going to steal the sun. We're going to be in darkness, and the land is going to be shattered. And at the end somewhere, we're going to discover that the Bat has been here the whole time, and the Bat is going to have some hand in this. Maybe the Bat will have a change of heart and go against Old Cobb. That would be interesting too. Maybe the Bat will be the one who decides to save the spiral in the end. There's a lot of openings. There's a lot of room for speculation. But right now, there are just clues and hints and things and whatnot being said, just in little tiny pieces, parts, that are very, very slowly knitting this whole thing together. And I'm watching very carefully. I don't know the rest of you are. And those are my theories right now. I think that there's going to be something going on with Mallory and or Baba Yaga and or Grandmother Raven is going to have a new reprised larger role. Some of these people are related who aren't telling us that they're related. For reasons that they're not telling us, I'm not sure. But that, again, that's the basis of it. That's my theories on what's going to happen with this arc. Guys, if you have some theories about this, by all means, leave some comments in the comments section, and we'll talk about this, and we'll do some brainstorming and see if we can't come up with a story before they do. That'd be pretty funny if we came up with the whole plot before they even have it out. All right, guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button, a good hard tap. What the heck, just pound the crap out of it. It's okay, too. All right, then, as well, share this video because that's going to help me out a lot. Get some ideas out there, get some community together, and we will do this thing. Until next time, this is Skella Mystic reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace!
This match.
Yep, here we go for another one. And?
It looks like Life and Storm again.
It's the same ones from last one, though, it ain't.
No.
That would be too much. That's the Hunter dude's the one who was complaining about a satyr.